May 5th, 2015, from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. It was Game 2 of the 2015 NBA Playoff Round 2 matchup between the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. The Wizards took Game 1. The Hawks were looking to even up the series at one game apiece with a win here before going to D.C. for Game 3. They came out strong in the first. They led the entire time, and by the end of one, they were up by 8 with the score 28-20. In the second, Washington would manage to bring it to within 3 points at 49-46 with a minute and a half left before halftime. But then the Hawks would end up drawing some fouls and hitting 4 of 4 in the final minute, and it would be 53-46 going into halftime with the Hawks up by 7. Then in the third, the Wizards would get within 1, and then they tied the game with just over 2 minutes left when Otto Porter Jr. hit a 3. Schroder would draw a foul, hit both free throws, and then Gooden responded with a 19-footer to tie it back up at 73. But then Kent Bazemore hit a three-pointer for Atlanta to put them back in the lead by 3 as they never lost the lead. It had just been tied. Horford then hit a long deuce. It was a 5-point lead for the Hawks, but then Otto Porter Jr. came back with a long deuce of his own, and it was back to a 3-point game before Schroder hit a 2-pointer, and now it was 80-75 after 3. So now in the fourth quarter, the Wizards would get back to within 3 points when Paul Pierce hit a 3-pointer with less than 9 minutes left to play to make it 84-81. But then the Hawks went on an 11-2 run to go up by 12 before Paul Pierce hit another 3-pointer to bring it back to single digits, followed by a long deuce by Bradley Beal. But then Kyle Korver hit a 3-pointer and pushed it back to a double-digit lead for the Hawks. And by the end of the game, it was a 16-point lead as Atlanta won this one and never once trailed. The final score, 106-90. So the Hawks, they were in the lead the entire game. The Wizards did make it interesting. Usually if a team's in the lead the entire game, I say that the game was never really in question. But this one was. It was tied twice there in the third. It was close early in the fourth. But the Hawks finished strong in that fourth quarter as they outscored the Wizards by 11 points. And of course, in this game, no John Wall for the Wizards. They were Wall-less. And without Wall, they would not get the W. So no Wall, and that means no win for the Wizards. But in this game, the Atlanta Hawks had 4 of their 5 starters score in double digits, and also Bazemore had double digits off the bench. So they actually had 27 points coming off the bench. Not Bazemore, but between Schroder, Bazemore, and Antic. But the leading scorer for the Hawks, DeMarre Carroll, he's been coming up big in these playoffs. He had 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Paul Millsap had a double-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Al Horford, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Kyle Korver, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Kent Bazemore, 10 points, 1 assist, and a block. Dennis Schroder, 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Antic, 8 points, 3 rebounds. And for the Wizards, their leading scorer was Ramon Sessions, who had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Bradley Beal had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Paul Pierce, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. And the Wizards were shooting really good from three-point land, although that did seem to disappear somewhat in the fourth quarter, even though Pierce did hit 2 3-pointers in that quarter, which he had 5 in the game overall. They hit 12 3-pointers in the game for a 54.5%. The Hawks, by contrast, hit 10 for a 34.5%. Both teams were shooting about the same from the field. The Hawks shot 53.5% from the field versus 42.7% for the Wizards. The real difference was the foul line, is the Hawks kept drawing the fouls, driving the lane and getting in the paint, getting those foul calls. They hit 88% of their free throws, 22 for 25. The Wizards just 57.1 from the free throw line, hitting just 8 of 14. The Hawks had more rebounds, 44 to 40. and it was really the offensive glass where they showed their dominance. And then an assist, 30-21 in favor of Atlanta. They're getting some good ball movement. Of course, no John Wall, as I said earlier, for the Wizards. Steals, 9-10, and blocks, 6-1. So the Hawks just blocking those shots. 3 blocks for Korver, 2 for Horford, and 1 for Bazemore. So the Hawks win this one. And they win in pretty impressive fashion. It was interesting, definitely, for sure, going down the stretch. But they closed out strong, and really, they never once trailed. So the final score in Game 2 is the Hawks even up the series 1-1. Atlanta 106, Washington 90.